Well, in our previous sessions, we discussed about what exactly the HTML is. In our previous sessions, we discussed about what exactly what exactly was the HTML. Okay, how to create simple HTML document we have seen in the last session. So same HTML code I am showing you right now. I am showing you on the screen the same code yesterday we have written. So every HTML document contains a root node, that is HTML, and this is called as starting tag, and in the end you have closing tag. So within this HTML tags, both starting and ending, we have other tags inside that. So other tags are nested inside the HTML. So other important tags are, there are two sections as far as HTML document is concerned. One is head, other one is body. So in the head we define title, then we can define the styles, internal styles they are called as. Similarly, you can define here if any JavaScript functions you would like to write, they can be defined here. Okay, so here inside this we can define even JavaScript functions. But your browser must be enabled with the JavaScript, then only JavaScript is going to be working with your page. In your browser, if JavaScript is disabled, then the page cannot run the JavaScript which you have embedded within the page. Now let me show you sample JavaScript, how to write it. So once I show you, then again we come back to HTML. We discuss much deeper in the HTML. Now here, as far as this head part is concerned, I have defined a new style. So this is what class based style, and this is what exactly element based style, paragraph, element. So for that I defined style. Yesterday we saw how styles work. So styles can be inline, internal and external. Even you can define a style in external file. That file you can refer within the page. Okay, styles can be inline, internal and external. So inline style along with the element itself we use. You can see here P class equal to new style, and style is here font, weight, bold. This is called as inline style. This has highest precedence. It has got highest precedence. Okay, so when this style is not available, the browser looks for actually any internal styles are available. It's going to look in the header part. Okay, so if the internal styles are not available, it looks for any external style sheets are available. So when they are not available, it applies automatically default style. So that's why we call it as cascading styles. We call it as cascading style sheet. Okay, so here we have defined a page yesterday with different styles. Today let me show you how to write a script. In the header part, how to write script, let me show you here. So here I am going to define a JavaScript function, something like script I write followed by type equal to text oblique JavaScript. So this is attribute here. This is what exactly text oblique JavaScript. Like this, trying to write here a script tag. Then put here slash script. Okay. Now inside this I define a function. So JavaScript, using JavaScript you write small functions in response to certain events on the page. The code you can make getting fired, something like clicking on the button or focusing on a particular text box, or when you lose focus from the text box. In such cases you can use some JavaScript. So here what I do, therefore I try to here write some JavaScript. I'm going to write a function. So some welcome message I would like to display. So therefore here I define a function using function keyword, function followed by greet. Like this I am going to write a function. So greet is the name of the function. I define here, followed by internally I use an alert message box. I put here alert followed by here welcome to JavaScript. So like this I try to write a JavaScript function, then this function I would like to invoke. So for invoking it, here inside this I use one button. I put like this. So first of all I use break tag, with that I can go into next line. Then here I put input type equal to, here it is button, okay, type equal to button. Then here I use an event called as on click equal to, so here what is the function name I have used that I need to refer, greet I should write here, on click equal to here greet I put like this. So like this I am trying to invoke the function. So then followed by here I close the input tag. So this is also what a non-container tag, it does not contain any content inside that. Okay, so therefore it does not require a closing tag. If you want to put a closing tag you can put, but normally a closing tag is not required. So here I want to put certain message like please click to get welcome message. Like this, besides this message a button should appear. When you click on that button it should give a message like welcome to JavaScript. So here we have defined the function greet alert welcome to JavaScript. So like this we defined a function, that function we are invoking in response to a click event on the button. Okay, so here input type equal to button, on click equal to greet, then here I put a value for this, value equal to please click me. Like this I try to put some message I am keeping on that, value equal to please click me. So when we click on that it's going to be displayed. Now let me save this, I am saving it. Okay, so here I just click on the open, where exactly it is for that purpose. Now you come to the HTML pages. Yesterday we created a folder for HTML pages. Here now the file called first is available. So the file first is available here. Then let me click on this. When I click on this, the page will be getting rendered. Now page is getting rendered here. Now the page is coming up on in the browser window. So it displays here some header. This is actually h1 with h1 tag. We are displaying this. Then we kept here few paragraphs. Completely the bottom we have the button. You can see the button. When you click on the button, it should greet us with welcome message. Welcome to JavaScript should be shown in a message box. Then click. Let me click here. When I click on this, what it says? This page says welcome to JavaScript. This is called as alert box. So like this we can write JavaScript in the header part, and that function we can invoke in response to the event of a say input here. So input type equal to button. In response to clicking on the button, the message should be getting displayed. So here the welcome to JavaScript is coming up here. So this is exactly what it is here, a JavaScript code we have written. Where exactly we are writing JavaScript code? We are writing inside the header part. A HTML document is containing both head part as well as the body. So in the body, whatever content you would like to display, you put here, and in the header part you define the title. Then if you want to keep any meta tags, you can put that. Meta tags are for actually meta information. For that purpose we use. Then if you want to define your own styles, you can define, or if you want to refer any external style, you can refer in the head part. Then similarly, if you want to refer any JavaScript external files, you can refer, or else internal JavaScript also you can written. How we have written here, that way you can write it. Okay, so here what we have done, we have defined few styles and we have written one JavaScript function. So like this we created here a web page. with the CSS, with HTML as well as with the JavaScript. So CSS and JavaScript you can write in the header part. It is not that always you need to write here, even within the page also somewhere you can write it. But normal practice is writing in the head part. In the head part of the document, if you write, that's correct. So even in the document also sometimes you can write it. Within the document also you can write the script. There is no problem with that. But here normally we do with the head part. So this is basically a HTML document with the CSS, with the JavaScript as well as with the HTML content. Now further let us look into HTML. Further we try to define more and more terms with HTML. So here HTML is nothing but hypertext markup language. So using that we structure and display a web page and its content. First of all we structure the web page, then using that structure we display content. Okay, so as far as content is concerned, content can be anything. A video can be content, some audio can be content, it can be paragraph of text, or it can be bulleted list. So content can be in different ways, a different type of content you can have. Content can be displayed in different ways, like paragraph text you can show, or like an image you can show, or like a video you can show, or something like audio playing also you can do, something like audio you can embed. Okay, similarly you can show something like actually bulleted list of points. So I mean in different ways, in the tabular form also data can be presented or content can be presented. So you in the HTML in that many ways you can be showing the content. So for showing content you can use different structures, like paragraphs you can use. Okay, so ordered list you can show, unordered list you can show, in the ordered list and in the unordered list you can show. Similarly images you can show, videos you can show in that. Then in the tabular fashion also data can be shown. So here data can be rendered in the HTML document by using different structures. But see, HTML is not any programming language. Remember, it's not any programming language. It is actually, HTML is actually a domain specific language. It's called as domain specific language. It's not a language like Java or C++ or C Sharp. So it does not belong to that kind of languages. They are general purpose languages. Using them, I mean everything is possible. But as far as HTML is concerned, it is actually set of commands to the browser to display the content. To display content in the browser, we use HTML. HTML is nothing but hypertext markup language. So as I told you, it is hypertext markup language. Using that, we are going to render content. Okay. So how to display content in the web page? It's going to tell us. So along with the directives or along with the commands of the HTML, further we can beautify and some extra functionality also we can add using CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so you can use CSS to make the content appearing beautifully, and sometimes you require some functionality, some dynamism you want to provide to HTML page. For that we can use JavaScript. You can be using JavaScript to provide some dynamism to the HTML page. Otherwise, HTML code is going to be static. That means once you create, you cannot modify. But using JavaScript, the appearance of the web page you can change. That is possible with the help of the JavaScript. So JavaScript is going to be working as an interpreter and it's part of the browser. So if the browser is supporting JavaScript, then your HTML page, in your HTML page you can use JavaScript. Though you embed JavaScript code in the HTML page, if the browser is not supporting it, if there is no interpreter available from the browser, so in such cases JavaScript cannot be working with your page. So always JavaScript must be enabled in order to use whatever JavaScript you embedded in the page. In your web page, if you embed any JavaScript, to use it, your browser must be supporting JavaScript feature. Otherwise, the JavaScript whatever you put in your page cannot be working for us. Okay, so here, so this HTML is what? Hypertext markup language. So using it, you can actually structure and display content. Okay, you can be structuring the page and you can be displaying content using that structural format. Okay, so we can use here different elements. In the HTML, we say elements. An element is nothing but it contains a starting tag and a closing tag. As far as element is concerned, it contains a starting tag as well as a closing tag. That is called as element. Every element contains a opening tag or starting tag, and similarly they contain a closing tag. Apart from that, it contains content. For example, you look at H1. H1 is nothing but element. H1 is going to be element. Here H1 is starting tag. This is starting tag, okay, or opening tag we say, and this is a closing tag. In between them we have content. Content is what exactly? This is my first HTML page. This is my first HTML page. It is going to be getting rendered with certain style. You have for H1 default style, as well as you can define your own styles. Those styles also we can use. Okay, therefore here this is called as element. H1 is going to be element. Here paragraph is going to be element. Similarly, if you come down further, here see BR is going to be element. Okay, BR is going to be element here. Similarly, we have here input. Input type equal to button, on click equal to greet. Even this can be called as input element. This is here input element. So element contains a starting tag, a closing tag, followed by content in that. So if the element is not a container, that means if it does not contain any content, in such cases we need to close immediately like this. So this is what exactly a non-container element. This is non-container element. Whereas paragraph is a container element and H1 is a container element because it is containing some content in this. And if you look at paragraph, this is also containing some element. And within the H1, even further tags also, further elements also you can embed. For example, first is there. So in the case of first, I would like to put here strong. How it appears, see. We use here starting tag for the strong. Similarly, ending also we put. Okay. So in between starting and ending, we put the first. When you render page, how this looks, see. So go to this, then render this page in the Chrome browser. So here open with Google Chrome. So you cannot see its effect. You cannot see its effect because you cannot see any effect for that. So where exactly we have defined it? We have defined this with the H1. This is my first HTML page. So it is appearing here. So instead of using there, somewhere else, let us try to use this one. So strong I remove from here. Okay. So already this is in bold, therefore you don't have any effect of the strong. Now here, let me remove and try to put somewhere in the paragraph. Here you have creative. So in the place of creative, try to put here strong. So how this changes, let us see. So even creative is getting closed here, then close the strong here. So you have a starting tag as well as closing tag using strong be made. Now once again try to render here. Okay. So strong is not working properly here. Instead of strong, let me show here italic. I just put I, and here also I put I, starting and closing tag. How this looks, let us see. So I put here like this. I am trying to put this part as in italics. So let me save this. After that, try to render. Now you can see this is coming in the italics. You can see this in the italics. So this creative is coming in the italics. Like this, within one element you can embed other element also. Within one element you can embed other element also. So we have taken the I for italics for the creative. Creative word is appearing in the italicized manner. So like this, one element you can embed in the other element. Okay, so elements also can be nested. One element can be nested in the other element. So like this, we have an element. The element contains a starting tag, then it has a closing tag, then followed by it has content, and apart from that it can use certain attributes. Okay, so attributes contain actually extra information related to the element. Okay, so attributes, they are going to be containing some extra information related to the element. Now h1 you take. For h1 you are trying to apply a style called as new style. So therefore using class attribute you can do it. Using class attribute we are doing it. Similarly we can use an id attribute. So using id attribute, what you can do exactly, you can identify this. Whenever you try to perform any manipulation of the DOM stands for document object model. HTML document contains certain structure. If you want to manipulate this h1, so in such cases you can be using this particular id. So id is required in the case of JavaScript. So using JavaScript you can manipulate the document. That means you can be traversing through the document, whatever element you would like to modify, you can modify with the help of the id attribute there. So id is therefore required. Okay, so id is required. Actually it's a good practice to keep always an id for every HTML element. So when you have id, using JavaScript you can manipulate that element. So you can get hold of the element with the help of the document.getElement by id in the JavaScript. So this is going to be an attribute. This id is similar to a variable name. In the programming language you declare variables using data type followed the variable name. So similar to that, here this particular h1 element instance you can actually mark with the help of the id. So for every element you can be having here an id. With the help of that, uniquely you can identify the element within the HTML document. Okay, id should not be getting duplicated. If you give an id for one element, you should not be giving same id for some other element. So therefore here with the help of id you are going to declare a variable name for the elements of the HTML document. Okay, but they are not mandatory. Even without them also you can create the HTML page, but when you put a id for them, using JavaScript if needed you can manipulate them. Okay, so an attribute should be having certain you need to follow certain rules as far as attributes are concerned. A space between it and the element name is required. Here suppose you have h1 and suppose you want to put a class. Without giving space you cannot add it. So between the element name and the attribute name there should be some space. Okay, so here other thing is what you need to have here, attribute name followed by equal symbol, then followed by whatever value you want to put you can put there. Okay, so here equal sign, then whatever you are trying to assign some value that can be kept here. h1 class equal to, so whatever value you are trying to put, you need to put that should be in the double quotes. You need to use that in the double quotes. Now here for example I want to use some size attribute. Size equal to, I just use like this, size equal to, I want to take actually some 5% of the 10% of the page height. I want to use 10% of the page height. How this looks, see, the h1 should be using 10% of the page size. So this may not be, size may not be useful actually in this. So size I cannot use with this, size I can use with the hr. I have a hr here, with hr I can use it. hr, then followed by here I use a style attribute, then here inside this I can put size equal to 10%. I can put something like this here, size followed by colon, then I should put here 10%. Like this I should specify. Size is going to be here 10%. Whenever you use style attribute, okay, whenever you are setting values, the value should be set like key value pairs. Key is going to be size, is nothing but property name, and the value is going to be 10%. So it should take 10% of the page height. The HR ruler, horizontal ruler, should be having height of, it should be 10% of the document. Now let me render this, how the HR is going to be looking. Right now HR is here available for us. This is HR here. Now once you refresh this, the HR size should increase in this. Okay, is it increasing? Once again do like this, then I save this. After that, so sorry, size is actually not style. You need to specify size as an attribute. Size equal to, I should put here 10%. Size is not an attribute. Size is an attribute, it's not actually any style. So size equal to 10%, I should put like attribute. Now let me render this here. Now you can see the size of the height of the HR is increasing. You can see the size of the HR is increasing here. The height of the horizontal ruler is increasing now. You can see here it has increased. It is increased. Even you can use width attribute, but we are not using any fill color there. So try to put the background color. You can put here a background color using style now. This time we need to put style, then write this background color, put this one as black. Let me put this as black here. We are putting it as black color. Now try to go to this, then render. Okay, spelling is wrong. Due to that, it could not render properly. So when it can't understand, the HTML is going to be, the browser is going to be ignoring that particular tag. If it cannot understand that, it just ignores, but it does not give any offending information to the user. So it does not show any error. As far as HTML 4.0 is concerned, it does not display any errors. If it can't understand something, it just ignores and proceeds further. Now let me once again refresh. When we refresh, what is happening? The horizontal ruler is getting displayed with a black color because we set their background color. So because of background color, it's coming up like this. Now it is using 10% of height. So like this, we can use the attributes. This is called as here what? Attribute. The attribute is exactly HR attribute. HR is having here a size attribute, a style attribute. Similarly, you can take width also. Width can be used as here 50%. Of the available width, it can use 50%. Let us show how this works. It's using actually 50%, but with this what is happening, it's getting aligned to the center. This is getting aligned to the center. It's not moving towards left or right. So it's coming exactly in the center. Alignment is going to be here, center. So to the center, this is getting aligned. Okay, like this, we can use actually the attributes. So using attributes, you are giving some extra information related to the element. Whatever content you have in that, content is going to be getting displayed depending on the attributes there. How much width they have to take, how much height they have to take as far as HR is concerned, what's the background color, we are setting there. Similarly with paragraph also, you can see, you look at this paragraph. For paragraph, we define certain style. Margin left 50px, margin top 20px, color is red, overflow scroll. Whenever content is not fitting in the 200 pixel height, in such case what happens? Automatically it scrolls. It's going to be scrolling, so automatically scroll bars are getting added. So like this, we are setting extra features here for the paragraph. So how the content should be getting displayed using styles we are setting. So here we are using attributes. With the help of attribute, that's possible. But for paragraph, we defined a style here. Automatically style is taken. This is here element based style. So for element based style, it works like this. So here element is nothing but an element contains actually a starting tag or opening tag, then it has a closing tag. In between them you have the content. And as I told you, one element can contain other elements also. Just now we have seen here in this paragraph we have a word called as creative. So creative we are showing in the italics. We are trying to show this is the italics. So using I stands for the italics. So this creative will be getting displayed in the italicized manner. Okay, it's going to be getting displayed in the italicized manner. Fine. Now see, the paragraph is what exactly? It is a container tag or container. This is a container. whereas HR is non-container, it does not contain any other content. Similarly, BR also does not contain anything. Now let me show you one more non-container element, that is image. I can use here img. So using img I can display images. I can display here images. So here I try to display some image, alt equal to no image, like this. So whenever image cannot be found, text message will be displayed there. I use here certain width equal to, I put some 100. Okay. Similarly, I take here height also I try to put as 100. But I need to show some image here. So you can show image using src. Src stands for source. So using src, images can be shown. We can show images using src. Fine. But here we require some images. Images can be, they can be jpg file, they can be gif file, they can be png file. So png stands for portable network graphics, then gif stands for graphic interchange format, jpg is joint photographic experts. Most commonly we use any of these three different types of files. So here I want to use some jpeg file. For that purpose I should have the image. So let me go to here my pictures. From my pictures I copy some photo. Sample pictures are available here. I use this tulips. I copy this file and put in the folder. In this folder I can put it. So the folder is on the desktop. HTML pages is a folder. So in that folder I put it. Okay, I'm going to paste here. I'm going to paste. Then here I specify. Here I'm going to specify this as tulips, then dot jpg, like this. I can set it. Now when I start rendering it, now with the image it will be getting rendered for us. As you come down, you can see here, this is exactly what it is, the tulip image which I copied and pasted, that's getting rendered. So we are displaying here image content. So this is also nothing but a non-container tag. This is also nothing but non-container element. It does not contain any other elements inside this, or it does not contain any content, but just it's going to display image. So these are called as here because they don't have the closing tag. Because of that we say them as non-container. We can say them as non-containers. So we use actually two different types of elements, container elements and non-container elements. Non-container elements cannot contain any other elements inside that. So whereas container elements can be containing other elements in them. So these two types of elements we are going to be using. So an element has a starting tag, ending tag, and in between them you can be having content. Like that normally we use the say container elements and empty elements. This can be called as here empty element. Okay, so this is called as here a empty element. Though this is empty element, but it is displaying actually image content. So image content is actually getting displayed here for us. Okay, so whenever you look at any HTML document, it has certain anatomy here. We have an anatomy. So it is starting with the header tag and getting close with header tag. Inside this we have head as well as body. We have two things in that. Okay, so on top of that also we need to specify what type of document it is, what kind of actually namespace it's using. You can specify here. So whether it is XHTML or HTML or HTML5, you can specify. So here we put doc type followed by, we call it as here doc type followed by HTML. We put like this. Document type is what exactly? It's HTML type is specified like this. It is HTML. This way we are going to set it. So like this we can put. It is saying that this is actually HTML document. It is saying that it is actually HTML document. Okay. So without this also you can create HTML pages. Without using doc type HTML also you can be creating. In olden days we used to have this kind of thing. The doc type attribute was the doc type element was required in olden days, but these days what is happening, they are not required actually. Nobody cares about that particular tag. So these document types in the olden days were meant for acting as links to a set of rules that the HTML page had to follow to be considered as good HTML. So in olden days, prior to this HTML4 or HTML5, at that time, to validate the HTML documents, we used to use this directive. You can call this as directive. So as per that directive, you can validate HTML document. So if it is good document, it is valid, otherwise it is invalid. Good document means, so whatever template you are using, as per that template specifications, you should make the document. That means you should build the HTML file. So otherwise it is going to be violation as per the standards. But these days nobody is caring all these things. Nobody is caring these days. So it has become actually a convention, adding the doc type HTML. It has become just convention. So nobody is bothering about this these days. Okay. So here followed by the HTML tag. This is wrapping up all the other things. It's wrapping up here head as well as here body. Then you can be having meta tags inside the head. Similarly, you can be having there a title tag. Even that is going to be important. And apart from that, you can be defining your own styles as well as scripts. You can define your own JavaScript. You can define your own CSS also inside the head. After that, you can use that with the elements. You can be using with the elements. Now, in the body, we use exactly the markup. So, various elements we use to mark up the text. First of all, you have headings. There are going to be 6 different headings. Heading elements exactly they allow you to specify certain parts of the content as headings or as subheadings. Like headings you can use or like subheadings you can use it. Okay, so whatever content you have, the content can be divided into headings or subheadings. That you can do with the help of the heading tags H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Okay, we can use up to 6 heading levels. That can be up to 6 heading levels. We can use them. So they can be used as actually something like the main title you can use. Then similarly, we can be using for subtitles and we can be using the chapters. For all those things, we can use the headings. So heading, it can be having the main heading, then followed by subheadings you can have, then sometimes you can be having titles. For all of them you can be using. So you can have main heading, then followed by subheadings you can have, then you can have titles and subtitles also you can do with the help of the headings. So headings can be from H1 to H6. Okay. So they can be from H1 to H6. Let me show you how the H1, H2, H3, H4, H1, H5 and H6 they render. Now here we have taken this one as H1. Let me go with the H2 in this. After this I use here H2. I am not applying any style for this. So just I use the HTML page in this. So then I close here H2. Similarly, I use here H3. With this also I render content. Like this I show, followed by here I close H3 this is. And this is going to be here H4. We can put like this. So this way add it H4. Then come with the H5 here. H5 you can use and put here in the same manner H5. Okay, similarly we use H6 and here try to put. So like this we are using 6 different headings H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So here the size of the content can be changing from H1 to H6. Now let me render this page. So I refresh it. When I refresh I can get, you see here this is the H1 and this is H2, H3, H4, H5 and H6. Like this we are displaying in 6 different actually headers. So you can use them for main content, you can be using for title, then subtitle. Okay, similarly you can be using actually for titles and for subtitles, for headings, for subheadings we can use this H1 to H6. Depending on the requirement, to highlight them we can use H1 to H6. So these are called as heading based elements. We can have here heading based elements. So next type of elements are going to be listing. So you can list actually. You can list. Okay. So So you can show the data like list. The list types can be ordered list, other one is unordered list. We have two different types of listing. One is ordered list, other one is going to be unordered list. So we use there a list that is actually ordered list as well as unordered list. Let me show you here how to use ordered list and unordered list. Now here I come to this and in between them I use HR. Okay, I am going to put two rulers. Then here I use even comments in this. This portion of document is meant for displaying data or displaying content with list. With lists we write like this. So we are going to show content like this, and this is called as a comment. This is called as HTML content, HTML comment. This comment is not going to be displayed. Browser is going to ignore the HTML comment. So using comment you can improve the readability of the document. When somebody is going through your document, HTML document, they can understand how you are structuring the document and what content is going to display. So like that, from time to time, I mean you need to put actually comments in your document. So whenever you add certain elements, if you put the comments, it's going to be really good for the readers. Somebody, if they are going through your HTML document, they can easily understand what you are trying to do there. So I mean putting comments is a very good habit for the developers. Now here let me use the first of all ordered list. I put like this, OL I put. OL stands for ordered list, and here inside this I have a closing tag called OL like this. So this is also what a container tag. It's not empty tag, it's a container tag. Inside this you should have list elements. I use LI followed by, I say India, then put it LI. Okay, so here I just want to put something like in the, say, span. Span is also one such container tag. Here I put this SARC countries. Put like this, SARC countries. I put like this here, SARC countries. Then followed by, I put a span here. Then I put a break. Okay, this is India. Then followed by, here I put Nepal. After this I put here Nepal here. Then I put Bangladesh. Okay, then here it is Bhutan. Okay, similarly I put here Pakistan. And one more country is here, Sri Lanka. Like this we are trying to put SARC countries. So we write as Sri Lanka. Like this we are trying to make ordered list. So what is the specialty of ordered list? See in this. So what is the specialty of ordered list? Let us see in this. How ordered list is going to be displaying for us. Now render this one here. It is showing like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is automatically displaying some numbers. Okay, it's automatically displaying some numbers. Now suppose instead of showing here the numbers, I want to show some Roman, or I want to use actually, some alphabets. I would like to use their alphabets, either uppercase alphabet or lowercase alphabet I want to use. Okay, so therefore I can use actually some kind of styling in that. I can be using styles in that. So for that is the normal use with the unordered list. But as far as ordered list is concerned, here you can put 1, 2, 3, 4 like that we put. But you can display it in different ways. So by default it's using type. Type equal to, you can use digits, or you can use a, or you can use small a. Then similarly you can use here actually Roman numbers, both it can be uppercase or lowercase. So we use type attribute. With the help of that we can set it. Now come to here this one, SAR countries. We used here li. So in this li I am using, by default it's using actually the digits. Now we take this, I try to set this time another OL. I am using type equal to, try to set here a. Okay, try to set a. Now how this is getting displayed, see. Go to this, then render it. Now it is showing here ABC like this, A, B, C, D, E, F, like this you are getting it. Similarly you can use here this, this one Roman numbers also we use. We can use even Roman numbers. So once again same order list I take, then try to add here. Okay, let me put here like I. So it's going to use Roman numbers. Similarly here I want to use lowercase alphabets. So therefore I try to put here type equal to small a, like this I can set. Similarly the Roman numbers also I want to use lowercase. So therefore one more ordered list I make here with this. I can put here a small I in this. Now what happens, let us see. We created here total 1, 2, 3, then 4 and 5. 5 different lists we created. In the first list it should display with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the default type. In the second case we try to display using uppercase alphabets. In the next case we use actually here lowercase alphabet. Similarly when we go with the fourth one, there we are using the Roman digits, but uppercase I's will be used in that. Uppercase I and here V, or it can be D, it can be M, depending on that. For example, you take 500, 50 we take. 50 will be displayed as L. Okay. Similarly, when you want to display 500, we use D there. So whenever you want to display there some 1000, we are going to use M. Okay. Whenever you want to show 5000, M bar we use. So like that, they can use either uppercase or lowercase alphabets. Now let me render this and show you how this looks. Once again a refresh page. In a refresh page it comes like this here. It's showing here 1 to 6 because by default it's taking numbers only. But when you put type equal to uppercase A, it is displaying with the uppercase alphabets. And when you put type equal to small a, it is displaying with the lowercase alphabet. When you use here uppercase I, it is using actually, it's showing the data with the Roman digits I, then 2 I's, 3 I's, then 4, 5 and 6, like this you get. Similarly with the last one, it's using actually lowercase. So like this, it is getting displayed for us. It is displayed in this manner. So total 5 set of lists are available here. First one is using the numbers. Second one is using actually uppercase alphabet. Third one is using lowercase alphabet. And fourth one is using actually here uppercase. So Roman characters. And say last one, it's using lowercase. So using type attribute, we can do it. So OL stands for ordered list. And similarly, we can use the UL, unordered list also we can use. We can use unordered list. Now let us see unordered list, how it looks. So this is for ordered list. Now let me here put one more HR. I am going to put here HR. Then after that, I want to go with the UL. So UL I put. Then here also I put UL. Then here I want to put continents like Asia. So that should be with the LI. Take this Asia. Okay. Then close the LI here. Similarly, we use LI. Then followed by this is Africa. So put LI in this. Then followed by here Australia we put. Then close LI. Then after that we put here LI. then Europe we put, then close LI here, then it is going to be America. We put LI, then this write as America. So like this we try to make here continents. We are keeping here 5 different continents. One more continent is there, that's nothing but Antarctica also we have. So LI followed by, write it, Antarctica. Like this we can put. Okay, so like this let us put LI. So 6 continents we show. Now when you use LI, how this looks, see in this. Go to this, then render. It is showing with the bullets. Automatically they are showing with the bullets. They are coming up with the bullets. So for this you can be using some list style attribute. So using list style attribute, you can set the list style there. So different list styles you can put there. Like circles you can put in that, a square you can put in that. Okay, so you can remove these bulleted points also. By default it is nothing but bullets. So by default it is going to be bullet here, but you can do with the other things also. Like none you can use, square you can use, or circle you can put there. So this is also nothing but disk actually. So these 4 types you can be using in that. Now let me here create with all those things. Now once again I take this, try to show here, put here style. So style equal to, I should write here list, then followed by style, and here it is type. So with this key I need to set this. This time I want to use as here something like square I want to put here. So squares must be appearing here. I put square. Similarly, one more UL I want to make. One more UL I would like to make here. So this one, this is going to be a circle. I want to use a circle in this. Circle I would like to put. And for the last one, I don't want to use anything. None I would like to keep here. I do not want to show anything, so none I put. So like this here we have 4 different things. One is disk, the other one is actually circle, one more is square, the other one is going to be none. So by default it's going to be using disk. For this, disk is coming up. Okay, though we don't write anything, it comes automatically. Now list style type square, like this we show here. Now let me render this. How this appears on in the web browser, see. You can see here, first one is using disks, second one is using actually squares, and third one is using actually here. This one is nothing but what type of thing this is actually circle, that is empty circle we show there, and the last one is here without any bulleted points. Like this we can show a bulleted point can be a disk, or it can be square, or it can be a circle, empty circle, or it can be say like here we don't have any bulleted point before that. Like this you can use none also. Like this we can show the list items. List items are shown like this. In the case of ordered list, it's taking actually the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Similarly, it may use uppercase alphabet, or it may use lowercase alphabet, or it can use their Roman digits. Either they can be uppercase or lowercase. Using type attribute you can make. Similarly, here using style, we are using here style attribute for the unordered list. So list style type square we use it, list style type circle we use it, list type style none also we use. So like this we are trying to display the content. Content is displayed like lists in this. So one is what ordered list, other one is here unordered list. So first one is ordered list, other one is actually what unordered list. So when you render you can see clearly. Here you can see clearly. So first one is ordered list. In this it is displaying with numbers, by default it is. So in the second case we put type equal to uppercase alphabet, and in the third case we put actually type equal to lowercase alphabet, and for this we kept type equal to I uppercase I, that means it's going to display in the Roman digits. Okay, similarly for the last one, we kept actually type equal to lowercase I, therefore it is displaying Roman numbers in the lowercase alphabet. Now when it comes to the unordered list, by default it's using disk. So list type here it's going to be list, style type is going to be disk. But for this is a square, and for this is going to be a circle, and for the last one it's empty. So like this we display it. We are going to display that manner. Okay. So sometimes what happens, the lists are coming for us here vertically. So they are coming actually vertically for us. Now suppose I want to show this particular list horizontally. I do not want to show vertically, I would like to show horizontally. So therefore I can use here a style attribute. With the help of that I can do it. So I can go with the style, with the help of style I can set it. Now come into which one it is. If I come to this here, so the Asia which is having circle here, I want to show them horizontally. I would like to show them horizontally. So therefore here the type where it is, the type is circle, this I would like to show here in the horizontal fashion. So I will write here like display followed by here inline. I try to put display inline, like this I try to render. Okay, so this is okay. So let me 1 minute. It's I should not display here. Just remove this here. Then followed by here. Let me put a style with this. Style is equal to, put like this. Okay, this is fine. Style. Here this is display inline. I can put like this. In the same manner I will be using with the other elements. So like this we are keeping. Here also we can set, and here also we can be keeping it. With America also we try to put in the same manner. So with America also we try to put in the same manner. Even with the Antarctica we try to set the same way. Display inline, we are trying to say this. Now try to render this. All of them are coming here side by side, you can see. Asia, Africa, Australia, Europe, America, Antarctica, they are coming in the same line. Now they are coming in the same line. But here see, we are repeating it. Number of times we are writing it. Style here. So style, this style type circle we have taken this. But here what we do, we are overriding. Since we are overriding it, the circle is not taking effect. And one more thing is what here, style equal to display inline we are using. So this is getting repeated once, and in the second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, 6 times we are repeating it. So this is actually waste of effort. Instead of that, you can define a style in the CSS. That style you can be applying. You can apply that particular style. So therefore, go to the CSS part. Here you can define a new style. Here you can be defining a new style. So the style can be something like this. You can put a style in this manner. So let us define here a style this way. Okay, let us come to here. This is OL. So in the UL we are trying to use it. We use here with the UL, but let me put here some ID for this. I am trying to put an ID for this. So for this I try to put a ID. So I am putting here an ID. ID equal to, I set like here my list. I can put like this. An ID I am putting here, followed by my list I am keeping. Now for this my list I try to write a CSS. So here this is going to be this time ID based. Hash we put here my list. So in the my list, whatever list elements are available, for that I try to set a style. So what style I put here, this is going to be, here in this we have set display inline. Okay, so display inline we are trying to put in this. We can put here display inline in this. So in the hash my list, it is actually referring this particular list. It's going to refer this particular list. So in this, whatever list elements are there, list items are there, they are going to use automatically this particular style. Like this, we are defining a style. This is ID based style. Okay, this is going to work only with the my list. It does not work with the other elements. Let me remove here this one. Total I remove this. On the top also I remove it. So it can be working only with this. Now similarly here also I remove this. Come to this point, even here also let us remove this. Okay, I am deleting like this here, followed by here I save it. Then so under this particular UL unordered list, which is having an ID my list, so in that list items are going to be displayed in line. Here one more style let us try to put. Now let me first of all render this, how this works. Refresh it. They are going to be shown this way here. Asia, Africa, Australia, Europe, America, Antarctica, like this we are showing. Now I want to have certain space in between them. I want to put certain space. So therefore try to use padding right. So using padding right, you can embed certain spaces between them. So in between them you can be using certain spaces. So let us try to put some spaces in that. For that purpose we go to the style. Further we go to the style. In the style we try to put it. So here we have a style display inline. Then other style is going to be here padding right. Use like this. Padding right we put, followed by here it is 60px. Like this we put it. Padding right, that is 60px. Now render here. Let us render this one. When you render, you are getting a lot of gap in this. So between these now list items there is a gap. You are getting a gap in this. So like this, here you can use list elements. So list elements are nothing but again they are part of the UL or OL. So UL is nothing but a container element and OL also container element. OL displays the list items in a particular order. Either it uses numbers or uses alphabets or it can be using Roman digits. And as far as unordered list is concerned, unordered list is going to be getting displayed with bulleted points or without bulleted points. So bulleted points can be a circle or it can be square or it can be a disk. So in three different ways you can display. And further, the list items you can display horizontally. By default they get displayed in the vertical manner. Okay, so this is today's session and try to give your feedback please, so that I can improve in a better way. I can be doing it. Thanks a lot.